Hey there, REM PCs. Welcome to Rules of Cool, where we interview very special guests, creators, gamers, designers, and world builders. I'm your host, Rem, and today we'll be speaking with renowned video game voice actor George Ledoux and his experience recording, working with some of the big names in gaming, including Battletech and more. Stay tuned because you won't want to miss it. Now, in REM ALTERNIS news, Exit Vector is the aerial combat minis game coming to Kickstarter March 28th. Give your pilots some much deserved attention as you use this rules light game on its own or as part of your cyberpunk role playing game. Get your rigor on with Exit Vector and follow the link here to check out the project. Don't forget to enter your email. Well of the Worlds is coming to Kickstarter on April 4th from Mobius Worlds Publishing. Powered by Prowlers and Paragons Ultimate Edition, this TTRPG setting transports characters into a new fantasy world where they discover they have powers they didn't have in their home world. Inspired by Japanese isekai portal fantasy stories, this is a world of adventure for you to explore. Learn more by visiting the link below and following the project. Welcome back, everyone, and welcome to my guest for today, George Ledoux. George, it's great to have you.
Well, it's great to be here. First time appearing on your show, and I'm looking forward to our discussion.
Yeah. And hopefully not the last.
Well, I've got a pretty open schedule.
I'll be like, oh, I need to fill this slot. Let's just bring George back so I can just talk with him.
I've been in that role before, Rem. So no worries. Yeah, awesome. I've been called in for many times. Can you come in because nothing else is happening? Sure.
Well, George, for those who don't know, is a celebrated voice actor and voiceover producer as well now. So we're going to get into some of that and a little bit of an ulterior motive because we're going to bring it back around to gaming as we like to do. So this is currently being recorded in February, and at the end of March is the Battletech Mercenaries campaign coming to Kickstarter. And so we're going to be talking to George a little about what Battletech means to him as well. So stay tuned because lots to come. But the first question I love to ask everyone, George, is what is your history as a gamer?
My history as a gamer?
Uh-huh.
Wow. This is going to be a short interview. Let's see. Well, basically, I'm fairly old now. I'm 61. And so for me, I played a lot of games in my youth, but they were always at like the arcade where, a fistful of quarters. And that was all during high school. But it was, that. And growing up, I played a lot of games like that, too, because when my family would go to, the beaches and stuff, we'd go to the arcades because I wasn't big into getting sand in my shorts and stuff. So anyway, that was that until kind of high school. Once high school started, I never played him again because I suddenly had no money. And any money that I did get, I was trying to save it so I could get a car, because high school kid, hey, better start young. I wasn't even thinking about college or anything because no one in my family had gone. So basically money was tight. So it's like, okay. So then the next time gaming came into my life, I heard of stuff, but really on the peripheries of my world, it's like I used to go to this toy and hobby shop that would sell board games, but I used to look at them and, look at them and read them and stuff like, Settlers of Catan and stuff like that. I'm like, this looks incredibly complicated. Who the hell would play this? I couldn't imagine because I never had like local friends because where we lived, it was kind of rural. So, there was high school, but I went to a big regional high school. So nobody lived near me. So I'd only see the kids at school, and the only thing we played in school were like different card games like Uno and stuff like that. So anyway, the next time it came around was basically when I got involved with video games as a voice actor. So
Neat.
we're talking the late 90s.
Okay, and that's a beautiful segue into my second question, which is, what is your history as a voice actor? So let's tie these two together.
Well, it's all going to tie together with BattleTech as well, because where I lived in Massachusetts, in just one town over from where I lived, there was a game developer called Cyberlore. And Cyberlore, I had gotten involved in doing voiceovers just the beginning of my career before I knew of Cyberlore. But once I had a demo, I was trying to find places I could send the demo, and someone said, "Oh, you should send it to Cyberlore. They're a game company, and they might want to use you to do voices for a game." I'm like, "Wow, that would be cool," because I'll never get to do animation of any sort because I live here in Massachusetts. So it's like a video game might be better than nothing. That's how I looked at it, honestly. So the very first thing I ever did for them was for a game called Majesty, a fantasy kingdom sim.
Ooh.
And I can say that at like conventions when I get invited to conventions as a guest, and people will either just stare at me blankly, like, "Oh, I've never heard of this thing," or they're like, "Oh my God, that was my favorite game. I played that thousands and thousands of hours as a kid with my sister, with my brother. We played it so much. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm talking to you." Like they treat me suddenly like I was, an incredibly famous voice actor, and I'm certainly not. But then they would tell me wonderful stories of how that was like the best part of their childhood, and just like really touching that something I did so long ago and really hadn't thought about for a long time suddenly has now become a real touchstone for a lot of people, simply because of the time that's gone by.
Yeah.
Kids were playing that in like the 2000s, early 2000s or 90s or whatever. And now they're old enough and they're they're like developers, and they're in all kinds of industries, but they go to conventions and whatever. Because I just went to one and I had so many people that talked about Majesty, and was like, "This is great." So after Majesty, because that went very well for Cyberlore and stuff, the next thing that they called me in to talk about and to have me work on was a game called Mech Warrior. And I'd never heard of it. Not a clue. And I remember them showing me what Mech Warrior was on their computers, because they had Mech Warrior 4 Vengeance, which was the computer game that was out at the time for them, that because they had, that's what they were working on, because they were working with FASA and stuff like that. So anyway, so the title I worked on was called Mech Warrior 4 Vengeance, and it was called the Black Knight Legion. And I played a character called Colonel Lawhorn, who is a typical, hero. He's the leader of the mercenary group, but then he gets killed. Spoiler, he gets killed. The 1999 game, I think. So if it's a spoiler now, well, I'm sorry. But anyway,
it's past the statute of limitations.
Right, so. Right. But I still remember I can still envision it when they first sat me down to show me at the computer what Mech Warrior was, and I'm like, "Wow, this is wild." I said, "Are these things like robots?" And they're like, "No, they're piloted. They're like walking tanks." And I'm like, "Wow, that's wild." And they had me try to play the game. If you've never played a video game and suddenly someone gives you a mouse and a keyboard and says, "Oh, and you do this and you do this and you move this," and I'm like, and you can turn your head, but you're still walking forward. I'm like, you know what? Let's just do the voiceover.
So you aced it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I aced it. I basically saw how they blew up a lot, which was fine. That was fine. But anyway, that was it. That was the early days, and it just progressed from there. But yeah, so the BattleTech titles were some of the earliest things I had ever done.
That's so cool. And from there, you kind of have you gone into more video games? I know you did our vocalists and
Oh yeah, no. From there, I mean, that was 2000, I think, year 2000. And what is it now, Rem? It's 2023.
23. Yeah.
23 years worth of games,
Woo!
which you could see on my website. But yeah, I mean, it basically, that sort of opened the doors to the video game developer world, which was a kind of a closed off thing. But in those days, there was a lot less centralized game development. Now, the big AAA titles all come from the same companies. They're all based around the same cities, but back then games were being developed all over the world. They still are, but you know what I'm saying. I mean,
Yeah,
the bigger
definitely.
titles that could become big weren't necessarily being developed in Los Angeles or whatever. It was smaller companies could develop them for the bigger guys, and so, the BattleTech stuff was fit that category. So because I did those, I got sort of involved in other companies. I'm trying to think of the best way to make this short and to the point. I do tend to ramble. You may see that. So basically, I got involved with the several other audio companies that would produce voiceovers for games, and so that's how I got involved in games like Neverwinter Nights. I did a lot of stuff for that. I mean, they did Majesty sequels. There was a lot of other companies that I worked for. I worked for Ken Levine, who went on to do BioShock, but back then he worked for Irrational Games, which was based out of Boston.
Neat.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, there was a lot of opportunities for me because I was local, but I was specialized in voice acting because back then that was a lot more of a niche. I had been told dozens of times by famous Boston actors, if that's a thing, that you can't make a living doing voiceovers and live in Massachusetts. I was told that many, many times. This is, you either have to go to Hollywood or New York. That's it. And I'm thinking, well, what about you? But they were established. I was talking to people who had been like the narrator for that PBS show Nature, or these other big national things that were created in and around the Boston area, but they were national programs. So, there was maybe 5 jobs that actors could do that would become national, that kind of thing. So anyway, I was the voice actor, and so these other people were regular actors that would come into the studio, but because I focused on voiceovers, I could pick it up really fast. I could look at a script and do it right away.
Yeah.
I didn't have to rehearse it, and I didn't have to, have 20 minutes to cold read a paragraph. And I could read right away. I've always been able to do that and be pretty good,
Cool.
So I don't know, that's how I got involved in more of the other games.
So
Kept going.
So kind of bringing that full circle to BattleTech and starting there as one of your first projects, what is it like seeing BattleTech become such a gaming and nerd staple, and seeing, like, when you go to conventions, the popularity and how it's grown?
Well, it's a wild thing. It really is, because again, as I have mentioned in other places, for a long time, BattleTech, nobody ever heard of it. Sadly, that was a fact. Gamers knew about it, and people who were into the board games and stuff like that, they did it. But I really was never in that. I wasn't in the board game world, so its popularity was. I still remember people saying, "Well, BattleTech is niche. It will always be a niche IP. So you can't expect them to be doing things like going to conventions, because that was the mindset. Catalyst Games is too small. They're not going to be going to maybe any convention except maybe Gen Con or something like that.
You know too many negative people. They're like, you can't be a voice actor in Massachusetts. BattleTech is never going to be big.
I almost, it's my whole life. It's like I've purposely surrounded myself with negative people. And so now I've been trying to turn that tide. I only talk to people who are pleasant. Which really narrows the field. So anyway, yeah, I mean, BattleTech now is just an amazingly popular thing compared to what it was, and I mean, even just a few years ago, when they had the very first mech cons, I mean, Piranha Games and Harebrained Schemes, those game companies, they put together MechCon, and I was an invited guest, and I talk about being treated like a rock star because of my involvement, with BattleTech, and because I stayed involved. A lot of voice actors, they do a role and then they never look at it again. They move on to the next thing, which is probably the smartest thing to do. But if there's one thing I could say about BattleTech fans is that they are intensely passionate about the hobby and the game. And so that just continued on with the video games. I mean, people that liked it really liked it. And you could not dissuade them by any means. I mean, they just loved it, because I'd be like, oh, well, I'm glad you like my what I did for BattleTech, but I said, it's just a small thing. And no, it's the best thing in the world, and they just go on and on. I'm like, okay, hey, whatever, man. You invited me to the convention. I'll just agree with you.
Gamers are passionate.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And because, and it's almost like the smaller games, the passion is amped up, so the smaller IPs, which at BattleTech was at one point, now it's not. It's definitely growing, and it seems to be growing exponentially every year, which is great. I mean, I think it's great, so
there's definitely like an almost like pride that comes with being one of the first people to like it. So people back in the day were like, I liked it before it was cool, or before it was mainstream, or before, and stuff like that. And there's
but isn't that typical of all kinds of fandoms? I mean, you're always going to get that. You're always going to get the people who want to be gatekeepers almost, it's like, well, I was there at the beginning, I still have my D&D sheets when it was all done on pencil and paper, and that's like, oh no, you can't possibly like the game as much as I do. Okay, I've never been that intense about anything, so but yeah, I mean, I've for the majority of my career, I've never been treated any way but as wonderful. I've received so much love from the BattleTech community, and there's always going to be a few rough patches here and there because of the way the world is and things change, but in general, I've always been treated so great, and so I always tried to give back. I mean, I worked on a lot of fan projects that were BattleTech based, and people doing videos and things like that. And a lot of the times I wouldn't get paid anything. I just did it because I just wanted to give back to the community. And I even have created my own things on my own, YouTube channel over the years. I've done, I've had I've commissioned people to do things with artwork and everything else. And I do these stories that were all like, audiobooks and things like that. So, if people go to my YouTube channel, just look it up. You can see all these BattleTech things that I've done over the years, and so to me, that's just giving back to the community that has given me so much.
And it seems like when I've talked to you about BattleTech's success and your role as in your voice work, you always kind of seem surprised where or at some point there was a surprise where you went to a con and people were like, oh, It's you. It's, you know,
Oh, hell yeah. The very first con I went to. Oh,
yeah.
absolutely. Because, before that, it was like I could read things sometimes on comments or, on different forums. People would say, "Oh my God, George Ledoux did this," and the same guy who did this role in Freedom Force, the video game Freedom Force, he did this stuff in BattleTech. He was Duncan Fisher, and in the game before that, he played a whole bunch of other roles. So it was that sort of thing. But I had gotten used to that. But to go somewhere that was a convention, because I had never been to a convention before, not as anything other than a guest, and that was at horror conventions, like horror movie conventions, because I used to be an actor for haunted attractions, so I would get to go to a lot of horror convention things as with my cast of people that I was part of. Anyway, so being a guest at a convention was really hard at first to deal with, because I do tend to be, very self-deprecating, and that's just my nature. But to do that, to go to a convention and have people just like basically saying so many wonderful things about you, and how, all the memories they had of what you've done and what you meant to them, and
you've impacted their life.
Exactly. But you don't think about that when you're doing these jobs. I mean, I certainly didn't then. I think about it a bit more now. But, when I was doing it back in the early 2000s, voice actors, the only voice actors you would ever hear of were the ones that were based in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Or anime people. That's a whole other side of the voice acting world. But I was never in either of those, playing fields. So I never thought about it. I never considered myself famous at all.
Well, it's great to hear, how much BattleTech has kind of meant to you over the years, but that's not the only thing related to Catalyst that you've done. So I kind of want to segue into our vocalists. If you can tell us a little bit about that and what you've done with them, and we'll kind of relate it to more Catalyst stuff.
Okay. Well, I'll do my best, because I like anyone with, early onset dementia, which I can remember my past much better than the current days. So anyway, I haven't been diagnosed with that. That was sort of a bad joke, but it runs in my family, so I'm always thinking about it. Anyway, so our vocalist, yes. We're talking about Greg Wilson, wonderful guy, big Red Sox fan. So of course I couldn't say no when he asked me to do anything, because I was from Massachusetts. So it's like, okay, he's a Red Sox fan. I'll have to do it. But I honestly don't remember how I got connected, unless it was through one of the other voice actors, which is certainly possible. Back then he was doing our vocalists, and it must have been something like that. I ended up doing an audiobook kind of thing for him, where he had this thing called Icarus. It was like a graphic novel, and I did one of the characters in that. And I think I may have this out of order, but then I did some stuff for the R vocalist, because I remember thinking, this is really cool. That's what it was. I remember seeing somebody said, "Oh, you should see this. This guy is doing Shadowrun games, but he's doing them. He's playing the game live, but instead of just reading all the dialogue, he's having voice actors perform it."
Yeah, it's a video. It's the video game for Shadowrun. Or I mean, he's been running the R vocalist, he said last night, for like 10 years.
It's been a long time.
He chooses text-based video games and then brings those voice actors on to play the characters.
Right, and that's exactly what happened. I got to play some of the stuff in the Shadowrun. I think it was Shadowrun Hong Kong. I think that's what the game we were playing, and I was only there in those particular videos for a couple of characters. I remember I played a ghoul character. Yeah, it might have been him. I just don't remember. But I remember Greg saying that was the creepiest voice he'd ever heard up to that point. So I'm like, well, that's good. I've since tried to find that voice. I haven't found the video, so I don't know. But yeah, I did other stuff with him. We did it kind of consistently. It was almost like a once a month thing for a while, but then I got too busy and I wasn't able to continue doing it. But I know, he was pretty passionate about doing it. And the other actors that he has were equally as well. I remember my friend and fellow voice actor Trendane Sparks. I think he still performs with the R vocalist from time to time, and he's also an audiobook narrator for Catalyst. So I mean, there's been a lot of really pretty cool people.
Yeah, and the segue here is that it's starting to come out now. We're producing an audiobook of the fiction version of Shadowrun Hong Kong.
Oh.
And we're bringing you back.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't sure how surprised I was supposed to be, but I am an actor, so I can act. Really? Oh, my God. That's awesome.
We haven't really talked
can't
about
wait.
Yeah, we haven't really talked much about it publicly yet, but I mean, we want it to be a big success. So we've got some great names involved with it, including you, and you'll be playing Gaichu again.
Oh, that'll be fun.
And Ractor, who is the rigger, and Mr. Drake, which is one of the Mr. Johnsons that sends you on a mission and stuff like that. So that's super cool. We're very excited to have you.
I'm excited to do something other than BattleTech. That'll be great.
Branching out, just going to capture you into Shadowrun.
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, it just seems like it'll be a cool thing. I remember I tried playing the video game with Shadowrun, the first one, a little bit. And I was like, oh, this is one of those kind of things where you have to make the moves. And I was like, oh, this takes strategy. I have to think. No, I don't want that.
Awesome.
The games I seem to have played the longest are the kind where you can just keep clicking, hit.
We need to bring you into the tabletop RPGs, and we'll just give you a big dumb barbarian to play. It'll be great.
I'll tell you, the Catalyst Game Lab convention team, they have that core group of people that go to the conventions and show off the products and stuff. At the last MechCon that I got to go to, they were there, and they literally had someone play BattleTech with me, on the board game version, so I could experience it for myself and see what it was like. And apparently I had incredible good luck, because I know these things are all very dice-based.
Yeah.
But apparently I had very incredible good luck, and I actually got a DFA, Death from Above, a successful one, and I won. So I was like, woo! I remember someone was taking pictures of me of that.
I love that your story about that is basically like, they moved me around and did things and I won, and yay! Like,
they were explaining the whole thing, but again, anytime there's math involved, my brain just goes, no, you're not even going to try this, and it just shuts off. And so it's like, nope. I think that's another reason I never got into board games, because there's a lot of dice rolling and you have to figure out things, and it's like, no, I can't do that.
Sure.
Because I'm too slow.
So BattleTech, now Shadowrun. What are some of the other systems or video games? What other credits do you have to your name?
Well, I'd have to look at my website.
You can cheat if you want to bring it up and then use it as your cue card.
Well, again, I mean, I've been going back for a long time. I mean, in fact, it's funny. I just released a video game visual reel, and I was told when making it, it's like, well, you can't make this reel because you have 300 videos. We can't do that. You need to pare this down. So pick maybe 20 and pick the newest ones. That was, so that's how that worked, because I had been involved in so many games over the years, mostly independent games. I mean, I've done some of the bigger ones. Like I was involved in Thief, that video game series. Cool. I did Thief Deadly Shadows. Oh, that's right. I have a shelf up here dedicated to myself.
Hey!
Yeah. You see, can you see?
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's kind of crooked, but there you go. And see that big Playboy one?
Yeah.
I never talk about that one. Because it was such a terrible game made by the same wonderful folks that made all the the BattleTech Mech Warrior games, but oh my god, I don't know the details, but just a terrible game. But
I love that you're like, we don't talk about it.
no, it's
awesome.
Anytime I've seen anybody playing the game like on YouTube or whatever, they're just like, oh my god, this is so bad. I'm like, yeah, tell me about it. Oh, but that Dying Light, that's one of the bigger new titles that I've been part of,
Cool.
both 1 and 2. I had a couple of different roles in the first one, and then in the second one, I got to play an old guy, so that was a real stretch of my acting chops. But I had actually worked for that game company, Techland Games, for many, many years, because I would be basically doing a lot of their placeholder recording.
Ooh.
Because it's a Polish game company, but they would want English voiceovers so they could use those, put them in the builds they're creating, and test out different things. So I did that for many, many years. I worked on Call of Juarez and Dead Island 2 and all these other Techland titles, and that was pretty cool. What else did I do? Of course, the Neverwinter Night games. I was in those right from the beginning, simply because I got to play a couple of characters throughout those things, but mainly I got to be one of the voice sets. So when you're doing your character creation in the beginning of Neverwinter Nights, which I understand is a D&D, isn't that a D&D scenario?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
I haven't gotten to play it yet, so I don't know too much about it.
But, no, but it's a very popular game. When I do the line from the games, if I'm at a convention and else and I was like, I was in Neverwinter Nights, and someone's like, oh, what were you in Neverwinter Nights? I said, "Show them your steel, attack!" And everyone goes, oh my god, because that's a voice set that they picked all the time because it was male, neutral warrior. So it was like, here's a good vanilla voice to put my character, give my character, so I can play the game. But that's how I could. I explained to them what I did, but of course that voice set was used in all of the iterations that came along, all the sequels. So that was good. I did a game called Arx Fatalis, which was sort of it was a sequel to another one, like I want to say Ultima Underworld or something like that. But I got to play a lot of cool characters in that. Freedom Force, which is probably one of my top 2 favorite games that I ever worked on, because that was based on Silver Age comics.
Ooh.
And that was created by Ken Levine, before he did BioShock stuff. Neverwinter Nights. Majesty Games, of course. We went over those. Yeah, I mean, a ton of things, but it's just, I don't know what else to tell you.
And now you are also doing voiceover producing. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, basically, in fact, some of the people who were children and played Majesty when they were children, or BattleTech, that also actually was part of they are now game developers, a lot of them. And so when they find out that I'm still alive, they would reach out and contact me and say, hey, this is great. I played your stuff when I was a kid, and we're making this game, and maybe we could get you involved in it. And I said, sure, I do acting, but I also I do casting, because I know a lot of people, and I can also help you with producing them. If you want to do that. I said, I can offer all these different services because I know a lot of people. Yeah. I'm not saying I'm super talented with all these things, but I know people who are. So, I can find them composers, or I can find them people who do a lot of audio work and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So that's part of it. But for the audio production, I've done a lot of stuff. I had done a bunch of stuff for Paradox. Paradox. They're a game company out of Sweden. I'm suddenly having trouble remembering. But I had done several game titles for them where I produced, I helped cast and stuff, and we did all that. And I had done a game called Ghost Runner, I did all the voiceover kind of production for that, casting and doing it. And that was a big hit. It's sort of, if you don't know what the game is, it's basically a really fast paced, what some people would call a shooter, but you don't get a gun. You get a samurai sword.
Ooh.
And you're sort of this cyborg, cyborg enhanced robot character. And you're going through this very dystopian, cyber world. And it's a very, very fast paced game. I tried playing it and I got so frustrated I stopped. It's like, I don't care. I mean, because I wasn't acting in it, so I was like, I don't care. But I had a lot of friends who were, so I said, I don't have to try to play this game. I'll watch videos of it, and that way I got to hear everybody do it.
Fair.
And I'm now, I'm still working with OML. That's who did that game. Did another game called God's Trigger, which was a sort of a top-down. It sort of looked like Miami Vice kind of game where it's lots of shooting and blowing stuff up, but all from a top-down perspective. Boy, I've been doing so many things. Did a lot of game trailers too. So these things sort of mix and match in my head. What I was actually part of a game, what I did for production. Like I said, if you go to my website, I have these things broken down in there, what I've done. But I don't want to cheat. I'm trying to remember using my brain because we all can just Google everything. And I try and force my brain to remember.
So what's next for you? What is like the new things you're working on that you're most excited about?
Well, like most actors would probably say, I can't tell you. But I mean, this past year, I got to do a couple of animes, English dubbing of animes. I'd never done anime before. And for whatever reason, I, won these roles. And so that was fantastic. I shouldn't say for whatever reason. It's because my voice matched what they were looking for. Yes, obviously. But I mean, I was never pursuing anime dubbing. But it was fun. And,
cool.
I would really like to do more of that. That's a possibility. As a voice actor, you're constantly auditioning and then forgetting what you've auditioned for, because otherwise you're going to sit around feeling extremely sorry for yourself and depressed. It's like, well, I really wanted that job. I wanted to work for Progressive Insurance. Well, that's not going to work. You can't do that. You have to just record your audition, do the best you can do, and then send it, and then forget you ever even tried, because that's just the life of a voice actor. You're always looking for more work.
Yeah.
Even if you have agents, and I mean, I have agents, but agents can only send you auditions. That very rarely will someone just say, hey, here's a job. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
But
unless it's for Shadowrun audio drama. Shadow is what I said.
Shadowrun audio drama. Coming soon.
In which case we're like, George, you want the work? You want the work, George?
Yeah, basically that was it, and that's fantastic. I'll take it. I love being hired because of my reputation. No, I know that's not. No, I know that's not why.
No,
I know it's not why. I know
and it's your history.
Yes. I have a little bit of a history with the company, so that's good. Plus, you liked my stuff. You said you liked my auditions for the characters, so that's good. So I'm excited because I love doing audio drama. That was my first love as a kid. I mean, I grew up listening to like old time radio shows and stuff, and so it's like, man, that would be the perfect job for me. I could do that. I wouldn't have to be on camera. I wouldn't have to memorize anything. I could just read it and act it, and I'd be awesome. I said that I would love that job, and I've done some, since then. That's the other thing. I'm working for another company, Apocalypse Studios, and I have been doing a lot of audio drama stuff for them.
Cool.
As they prep their game. They've been building this game sort of spiritually based on the Legacy of Kain vampire game. Yeah. And so that's something I'm very excited about, but I can't say much except that we did all these lore videos that were done like radio plays, and they are awesome. I love them so much. I'm very proud of the work that we did in those, and I did a lot of that, helping them cast it and stuff too. But yeah, the sound people they've got, the sound designer they have is named Philippe Braz. He is fantastic. Their writer, Jack Lindsay, he's fantastic. And the CEO of the company, Dennis Dyack, he's extremely well known in the industry, and he's been nothing but wonderful to work with. So I'm really excited for that game. It's called Dead House Sonata. Probably won't be released until next year.
Okay.
But the lore videos are out there. If you want to hear some really cool radio drama stuff, go check those out.
Neat. So,
yeah, I'd say that's the newest stuff that I can talk about.
Sure. So with this stuff that's coming out, we have your website posted on the overlay.
Okay.
But where else can people find you, follow you to catch more of your work and keep up with what you're doing?
Well, I do have a Twitter account, and I use that a lot. I actually use my Twitter account in a very business-like manner, but I also post, goofy stuff all the time too. There's a phrase for that, but I'm not going to say it. Where you just put up memes and stuff like that, or just stuff. But I use it actually for a lot of business stuff too. I mean, because there's a lot of actors that follow me there. So when I get the opportunities to help cast a project, whatever it is, I will oftentimes go on Twitter and say, hey, I am going to be doing this. I'm looking for such and such an actor. If you're interested, send me a DM or something like that.
Yeah.
But I do that very sparingly because I've got enough followers now that doing that causes an avalanche to come into my inbox. So I have to be very careful about that.
You get very busy.
Yeah. And I've got a database of things, but why would I use that when I can go to Twitter and have people, But anyway, that's the best way to go to Twitter, look for George Ledoux, and you'll find me, and there you go. But I'm also on Instagram, but that's mostly pictures of my cat and other things. But nothing wrong with that. If you like pictures of cats, that's a good spot to go. Because I used to be really into photography, so every once in a while I'll, pull out my camera and go into photography mode and take stuff. I'm also on, Facebook, but I don't really do much with that except for family. I'm also on what's that other one? the one that you're supposed to use for business. Starts with an N. What?
I was going to say LinkedIn is the
LinkedIn. Yes, LinkedIn. Sorry, I'm focused on Indeed simply because I have a friend who's been looking for work and he's telling me about Indeed all the time. I'm like, so that's all I could think of. I said, I know in is part of the name of this website. Yes, LinkedIn. I'm on there as well. And I'm trying to do more professional grade posts on LinkedIn. But it's just not me.
Not fun.
I'm such a goof at times. I need to take things more seriously, but you got to be yourself, right?
Heck yeah.
You got to be yourself.
Pretty darn well with it. So
that's what they tell me. And I'm like, well, what about that bill that has to be paid? I need work, everyone. If you have a voiceover job that you'd like to hire me for, easy to contact me. And I don't work for that much. I'm sure you could afford me. We'll talk.
Well, thank you so much for everything that you do, George, for the gaming community and what you've built for yourself and for people who love the games that you've voiced in. And here's to wishing the BattleTech Kickstarter so much luck.
Absolutely.
And that's direct from Duncan, guys. So
that's right, everybody. This is Duncan Fisher telling you to get out there and support your local BattleTech Kickstarter. It's the only one in town. And if you don't support it, well, people like me are going to disappear. So get out there and support your favorite game. Come on.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, George. Hope to have you back on to talk about any of your projects in the future. Let me know. But don't go anywhere, REM PCs, because we will be right back.
Special thank you again to George for joining us today and celebrating the launch of the BattleTech Mercenaries Kickstarter. Make sure you check out the project now at the link below to get in on the special Kickstarter exclusives before it closes. And don't forget you can find more Rules of Cool content on YouTube at www.youtube.com/c/REMALTERNIS. We've met with Shadowrun line developer Jason Hardy, many of the writers, game devs, and freelancers, and soon we'll be having Randall Bills from Catalyst on to talk about all things Battletech. Tune in every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern on www.twitch.tv/GenConTV. See you next time, REM PCs.
Yeah! In the city of Neo-Babylon, full of powerful magic and emerging cyber technology, the authorities say that they know what's best, but only ever seem to help themselves. That's where you come in. If the powerful won't help, you'll just have to get things done on your own. Hey folks, I'm Opti, the founder of Fragging Unicorns Games and creator of the Subversion RPG. In Subversion, you and your friends play as envoys, representatives of your communities taking direct action to serve and save the people around you. But there's a catch. Both characters and communities have values that are important to them. Trying to subvert an oppressive world around you while also holding true to those values isn't an easy task. Neo-Babylon is a world much like our own, but where magic and wondrous things have always existed. And the ancient Babylonian Empire was the first to wield that magic to conquer and assimilate their enemies. Now, in Neo-Babylon, communities struggle against oppressive arcane elites, faceless corporate masters, and all kinds of authorities that have boots aimed at their necks. So if you want to play a game where you can encounter wondrous creatures, breach computer systems, bend magic to your will, search out lost civilizations, steal from the rich, and give to the poor, Subversion might be for you. But if you're looking for a game where your values truly matter and building up your community is just as important as destroying unjust systems of control, Subversion is absolutely for you.
Ready to level up your cosplay game? Check out the Geek Forge on Etsy. With a variety of props to give your photos that extra spark, you'll find just what you need. Hold magical fire in the palm of your hand, or take a potion to restore your mana. With a large variety of colors, you can choose your own magical flavor for your cosplay. Bring drama to your photo shoots with these vibrant props and more, all available at the Geek Forge. Are you ready to level up your cosplay?
Hey, everybody.
Hey there, NPCs. Welcome to our actual play of Shadowrun 6th World, Emerald Glitch. I'm Bob, your GM, and tonight we're going to back off of Billy Redux a bit from the Ariok cut, and we're just going to go on a nice little milk run. So you'll see we have a bit of a cast change out today. We still have Slick. Slick is always here. We've got and then Mr. Bell, and we've got Jay. So we're gonna step a little bit back in time from the Ariok cut. So this happens before Billy Redux. It is the dead of winter. It is about a week before Christmas. And let's see. So let's see, Mr. Bell, you get a comm call. As I'm quickly looking up your list of services here. There we go. Mr. Bell, please.
Mr. Bell speaking. How may I be of service?
like for you to arrange for a reservation and bag delivery of a fairly large item. So you'll probably need a couple of people to help out on this. So I'll send payment along for them as well. The item in question is a small tanker truck filled with milk. It is set to be shipped from a small farm in Snohomish to a restaurant in Bellevue, where it's supposed to be used in some strange farm-to-table craft cheese-making class for upper-class suits. I don't want it to be used for that. I'd like for you to deliver the milk truck to any shoot you an address. It's a warehouse in Tacoma. The payment is 4,000 new yen per runner. And I can pay 2,000 up front.
Excellent. Is there any limitation on methods of violence?
As long as it's discreet.
Excellent. Happy to serve you. Have a nice day.
Excellent, thank you. And the payment, the half payment comes across.
Hang up.
Okay. And I've sort of left it to you now to assemble a team.
Okay. The first person I will call is Fisher.
It goes to voicemail. But the number does apparently ring. It says, this is Fisher, leave a message. And it is Fisher's voice.
Fisher, this is Mr. Bell. Sorry to have missed you. By the time you get this message, my offer will have passed. That's unfortunate, but have a nice day. Hang up.
Okay.
I will call Circuit.
So we can go down the list of the people who aren't here. We'll say you contact each and every one of them.
There are a lot of Deckers in Seattle.
So you get to Violet, and Violet explains that she has something else going on, but a friend of hers might be interested in the job. And she slides you a number for Jay.
I'll call Slick.
Hello. This is Slick, unless you're law enforcement, in which case I'm not Slick.
Good evening, Slick. This is Mr. Bell.
Hey, hi. How can I help you?
How are you doing?
You've just gotten all your DVDs resorted.
Just like 16 copies of Batman Forever. I'm good. What brings you to my line?
Traditionally, the Green Mansion takes care of all of its own affairs. Back in the late 1800s, we used to have professionals who were particularly adept at intellectual means of technology and were on the forefront of all things communication. But now, we don't have any more of those operators. I'm going to need an operator. Based on your previous service, you are the first person I decided to call.
Really? Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I'm good. Yeah. So
You're quite good, Slick.
I'm the best. Yeah. So yeah, what's the job?
We need to acquire something. A milk truck. The pay is 4,000. Wait, was it 4,000 new yen?
4,000 half up front.
4,000 new yen.
Oh yeah,
That's per person.
Yeah, I've got a shopping list. That that's gonna be very helpful with that. Yeah, I'd pencil me in. Me and the van are at your service.
Excellent. I'll be at your donut shop in 3 hours.
Okay, yeah, cool. What's you want me to have some donuts
But-
waiting for you, or coffee, or anything? Or?
I hung up.
Oh, he's got to fix that communicator.
And then I'll call Jay.
All right. Jay, your comm rings.
Okay. I Tabit answered it. There's a lot of noise in the background. Some screaming, possibly vomiting that you hear. Yeah. You got Jay. What's up?
Oh, good evening. I'm an associate from the Green Mansion. I was told that you could be hired for a run.
Okay. Who told you?
My connection is Violet.
Okay. Wait. Is this Mr. Bell?
Is this Jay?
This is Jay. Violet's talked about Mr. Bell.
I hope they were good things.
She said you were very effective.
That's nice. Violet's nice.
Yes, she's a sweetheart. All right. Where do you want me to meet?
There's a donut shop somewhere. I don't remember where your donut shop is.
All right. I can get there, but yeah. Then you hear a crash sound like vehicle crashing. Yeah. Listen, I'll catch a cab there. Is there? You got transportation for this run?
I can find a way.
Sounds good. All right. I will meet you at the donut shop then. I'm certainly
Excellent.
going to need it to clean
Hang
this
up.
mess up.
So I gather up all my things. Milk run. Yeah. I think I can bring my employee of the year award with me. So I put my sniper rifle into the holster on my back. I pull out something new. I have a combat knife, a new combat knife. It kind of looks like it's a straight blade, and the serrations in it actually make it look like a key. So it kind of has a little bit of a glow to it as well. So I stick that in my my sheath in the back of me, and I take off. I'm going to steal a car and drive to the donut shop.
You do notice as you're leaving the Green Mansion, there was an old green van that used to be used on occasion for service, for going to pick up food and such. Basically, a service vehicle for the mansion. You have not seen that van in a while.
Oh,
But you walk a little ways, and we'll say you don't have too much trouble stealing a car temporarily. Your normal trick, as I understand it, is you walk up to a hotel, looking like a service person, a valet or something. You sort of you accept their keys, and you drive off.
Yep.
That's how it was done before.
yeah. I usually look for a douchebag. Or what I perceive to be one.
And you're able to drive it for a little while before it's reported stolen and deactivated. So we'll say that vehicle will be That vehicle will be a Beamer. It's effectively the Hyundai Shinhyung, but it's a BMW coupe.
Cool. I'll park it like a couple blocks away from the donut shop.
Okay.
Just dip it.
Slowly over time,
I'll park it in like a. Oh, what's that?
Slowly over time, the police will just start showing up around this donut shop to recover stolen vehicles. It'll just become the whole thing. Okay, somebody drive by there, see if we can pick it up.
I'll park it in a no parking zone somewhere, and I'll just open the door and
walk away.
Yeah.
So no doubt Lone Star will eventually find it, but it'll probably be stripped for parts by then.
Hopefully.
Because you left the door with the keys in it. So you see Mr. Bell walk up.
Actually, you don't. You're like doing your thing. You're like doing your thing, and then all of a sudden, I'm just like next to your front window.
Gets out of the van. I got coffee.
Excellent. I just hold the cup. I don't drink it. Thank you. Appreciate it.
No problem. So, we got a van, a truck to acquire here.
A milk truck.
Yeah, I love milk. Can't make.
I like it too.
Without it.
So a grid cab rolls up. And Jay stumbles out in whatever state he's in.
You see basically the biggest troll Mr. Bell's probably ever seen. Unfolds himself from a grid car like he's coming out of a clown car. Mm-hmm. And he's wearing what would be an excellent suit. It probably looked like an excellent suit 4 hours ago when he put it on. Right now, however, it looks like he's been vomited on and in 2 or 3 car wrecks. So it doesn't look like a nice suit anymore. And he walks up to the van. Mr. Bell, I presume? I'm Jay.
Jay, I presume.
Yes.
I hand you the coffee.
Thank you. I need this.
Oh, but that was for... Oh. Okay.
You have a little something here, and I'll start wiping the vomit off of your...
Don't bother. This is going in the trash.
Oh, it's no problem. I don't mind at all.
Too many bad memories. So
keep wiping.
Okay. Yeah, that fits. So what's the job?
A reservation, otherwise known as acquiring an item and delivering it.
Okay. So this is a theft. What are we thieving?
I believe it's a milk truck.
Oh.
I understand you're a driver.
Yep.
We will need your skills.
Okay.
Wait a second.
No offense, Slick, but I noticed that you don't actually drive your van.
I drive it plenty.
It's okay. You're still valuable.
Yeah, but I can jump from your moving van onto the moving milk truck and steal that way. Now, if you want to swap jobs, buddy.
Nobody drives my van.
That's what I thought. I could tell that you're serious. You're clearly, from what little I could see from outside of it, you're clearly very serious about your van. Okay, so all right. So he pulls out his comlink and makes a Chummer warehouse order.
And as you're looking through like the front windshield, you do see on the left-hand side of the vehicle, like right behind his head, right behind Slick's head, is this tiny little painting of an eyeball.
Yeah, okay. That's
It's hung like this place is a house.
mm-hmm.
This place is not a house; it's a home. All right, yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. I just couple of house rules. If you are going to faint in my van, you just gotta let me know.
Let him know.
A little bit.
He doesn't like that.
I don't like it at all. There's a plaque on the passenger side just to remind you. You talked about jumping from the van to the truck. I just ask that you kindly just wipe your feet so I don't have flip marks on my hood. And I'm
The
ready
van
to
is his
go.
home.
One day I'll have rockets. But other than that,
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, are you sure you're gonna fit comfortably? I mean, yeah, I think she'll be able to make some room for you. I might have to fold one of the passenger seats down, but that's fine. No, then we can do this. I'm ready.
Yeah, so it's a big vehicle, but it is stock. So the seats are all made for sort of regular baseline human size. So the seats are a little small for Troll, but at least there's headroom.
I will open the door, and I will usher you in like a doorman. Right this way.
All right. Just 1 second. A drone vehicle pulls up. And a sliding door opens up. And he pulls out a wardrobe bag.
Oh.
Is it branded the Trevor Warehouse?
It's branded Trevor Warehouse on the side of it. And in there, I pull out basically a new outfit that I change into quickly here that fits.
It's on the street.
Yeah.
Just on the street? Cool.
Just on the street. Who's going to bug me about it?
I offer to assist you with like taking off your jacket and stuff like that.
I'm actually used to that, so I let you. Just
I like hold it largely in my arm.
Yeah. Change into it, stuff the existing clothes back into the garment bag, and okay, they'll get burned someplace.
That's handy.
Trevor Warehouse, man, it's the way to go to be when you're a runner. Don't have to worry about running back to your place for a new outfit.
Might stand an issue.
Oh. All right, climb in. Force myself into the vehicle, into the van.
Okay.
If it would make you more comfortable, I'll sit in the front.
That probably will work better. Yeah. Plus, you never know. I might faint.
Just let me know beforehand.
Communication.
All right.
So I'll take a seat next to Slate.
You got the location? Where am I going?
Yep. I got the location. Yep.
All right.
Yep, you said it. So we're going to go there.
and foot on the long skinny pedal, and we're going.
Yeah, so you were given the address to a farm in Snohomish. So I'll ask you to make a driving test.
I can do
or
that.
piloting test.
Listen. This is my first mission with another Decker with me, so I've gotta not look bad here. Come on, here we go.
Hey,
Hold on.
Emerald
I
Glitch.
didn't- just warming up.
Yep.
It doesn't.
Yeah, you get those threes. You get those threes pretty soon.
It doesn't require a whole lot to ride to drive down the streets.
Yeah, this is not really combat driving.
Yeah, we're just vibing.
So really, all you had to do is not glitch.
Good.
But you're able to make decent time. Given you're getting sort of the end of rush hour, it's probably 6-7 o'clock in the evening. It is very cold, but not snow. There was some snow earlier in the day, but it's sort of been plowed by now. But you get out into Snohomish, and you start the concrete jungle sort of fades to the background, and you get a lot of rolling hills and farmland. And you roll up to a small farm that has a sign outside that says Ingersoll Berkeley Craft Dairy. And there is a milk truck matching the description. It is I'm calling this an Aries Tank Master. That's what Aries does with their vehicles. They call it City Master, Road Master, Tank Master. And so it looks like
Milk Master.
Milk Master, but it's essentially a Road Master where the passenger compartment behind the driver has been removed and it's been replaced with a tank. And you've seen these more in the fuel industry. It's good for sort of short range fuel deliveries, but apparently they make these for food grade as well. And it's just milk painted on the side, and it's driving off the property. It drives past you.
Oh, we're doing that. Okay. That's our target.
All right. Well, I will tell them. Also, I was not expecting that when you said milk truck, but okay. I just thought like regular truck, milk, but
bottles of milk and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a tank. Fine, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Should I roll another piloting?
Absolutely.
Is it speeding off or just driving? Driving
sort of lazily driving.
Okay.
Slick. Before we engage, would it be useful to gather some information about the company and maybe the vehicle in general?
Yeah, I can put in the extra work here. 1 second.
And Mr. So Slick, you can go ahead and make a matrix search.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. Bell and Jay can go ahead and make perception tests.
So would that's going to be a
computer plus vision.
Yep, that's what I thought.
That's not a 3.
Yeah,
but Jay's trying to impress you.
That's a 3. You can count on me.
So Slick, you're doing a matrix search. So you do actually get the vehicle license plates. It is registered to Ingersoll Berkeley, which is one of the big agriculture firms out here. They're called agribusinesses. Out here in Snohomish, it's either Ingersoll Berkeley or Aqua Arcana. Aqua Arcana produces a lot of the aquatic stuff, like krill that you get at Low and Middle Lifestyle. The main so you're not on the main Ingersoll Berkeley, the vast farmlands that they own, because most of that is soy. This appears to be a dairy farm that is owned by Ingersoll Berkeley. So they specifically produce milk. And let's see. So Jay, you see up the road a bit, there's a guy running out, sort of waving. And you get the sense that milk truck was not meant to be driven off yet. He's sort of running down the road trying to get to you guys, or trying to get to where the milk truck went. Mr. Bell, you're sort of looking, and as the milk truck goes by, you sort of get a glimpse of the driver, and all you can really remember is it's a male orc, pretty big guy, well built. And that's really all that sort of sticks in your memory. You get sort of a weird feeling about it.
So I'm sharing all the information that I picked up with everybody.
Okay.
And then go ahead.
I'd point out the guy behind us. And
Is it a guy in uniform, like from the establishment, or?
He's sort of wearing it's wearing overalls, but it's got a little like a name tape. That actually, as it gets closer, it looks like an Ingersoll Berkeley uniform.
Okay.
That guy stole my truck.
Great.
Competition. Nice.
All right. Well, now we know at least it's not a farmhand we're dealing with.
Any suggestions on how we deal with this?
I think get him quick before he can hook up with anybody else. So I would say we pull up alongside. And actually pull up alongside, and Slick shuts the car off. Shuts the vehicle off.
It's
the simplest way.
That is well within the things that I can do. I've done this before. I have complete confidence in myself to do it again. Here we go. All right. No one here is nervous because we're all professionals.
As he's accelerating, I'm gonna whether or not I fall in Jay's lap, I'm gonna kind of slide to the back seat. Because I feel like I'll get a better launch out of the van from the side rather than the front door. So,
Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna slide into the back if I have to jump.
Okay, so you sort of slide toward the back to where the sliding door is along the side. So Slick, you are driving.
Mm-hmm.
I need to make a roll for this guy.
I don't love that.
I want to go to the opposite side though, like opposite of the side where the tank would be.
He's keeping distance with you.
Oh, this guy. All right. It's this my baby could go faster. I forgot what Speed Racer does again.
Let's see, Speed Racer.
Oh, just pulling it up real quick. Well, regardless, I'm just gonna try keep up with it.
So when you were that's a good thing you mentioned that. When you're at the start of a chase or a race, which you are, you gain a point of edge at the start of every round that can go only into a chase pool. So what happens here is you start a chase pool. We're going to play this a little fast and loose, but it's a separate edge pool that is used only for the chase.
Gotcha.
But it allows you to sort of bank some of the edge you might otherwise lose, and use it specifically for driving tests.
Okay.
So at the start of every round, you're going to gain an edge point in that pool.
Yes.
Because you are a speed racer.
Then yeah, I would like to try and catch up with this guy.
Okay. So now I'm going to ask. So since you have a control rig, you have the option of right now you're still awake, but if you do what's called jumping in, that is, you become one with the vehicle. Your body slumps over.
You faint.
One with the vehicle. You faint.
It's my bad. I can faint if I want to.
What it does is it gives you your control rig rating as bonus dice, and it reduces the threshold for all piloting checks by the rating of the control rig, which is, you have 2 in that?
My control rig is... Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Oh, God. I'm lost. 1 second. I've ruined everything. Here we go. My control rig is, in fact... No, that's wrong. 1 second. My control rig is 2, yes.
2, okay. So if you faint, as it were, and jump in, you'll gain 2 bonus dice on any piloting check, or actually any check whatsoever that deals with the operation of the vehicle, and any thresholds will be reduced by 2.
All right, and my cyberjack rating is 5.
Okay.
All right.
Now, that being said, if you also want to be hacking this guy's van or this guy's truck, that's going to add some more difficulty. Because right now you're doing all the work.
Yeah. While he's doing this, Bob, I'm going to send a spoof command to the. I have a deck. It's a low grade stuff. I'm not a. But I'm going to send a spoof command to tell the vehicle to shut off.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that. Let's see. Let me find the spoof command real quick.
It's cracking.
There it is. Cracking plus logic.
Yep. Which is not my strong suit, but again, who knows?
But you may be lucky, and this guy's not a Nova Hot Decker,
right?
Or Nova Hot Rigger driving a jumped-in vehicle.
Yeah, and at this point, I'll say, all right, I'm trying some like rudimentary hacking stuff to annoy him. Might distract him a little bit from his driving.
Every little bit helps. And yeah, I am going to become one with the van.
Okay. I'm going to spend some edge to make those 2 4.
And if nothing else, I'm using up his edge.
Yep.
I'll take it.
So your Overwatch score, are you running baby monitor?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, your Overwatch score is 2.
Yep.
Plus whatever access you want to get, because it. Oh no, it's
It was just a spoof, so.
It's just a spoof, so it's 2. Okay. So I'll ask Slick to make another piloting test. Again, you get a bonus of 2 because you're now jumping in.
So do I just add 2 to the mod?
Yeah, so it'd be a modifier of plus 2.
Okay. Here we go. Crap!
Wow.
I had a dice full of 10.
That's a whole lot of 3s.
Guys.
So you do have 2 edge in your chase pool, which if you're very lucky, this chase is going to end pretty quickly.
Yep.
But I'll let you see what I roll first.
Okay. Hey, Hey, you don't remember this guy.
Wow. So that's a lot of ones. And you still succeed. So you're closing with the milk truck. It's kind of challenging driving a milk truck terribly fast.
Yeah.
Whereas now you're jumped in and you're good to go. And all of a sudden, you hear the milk truck sort of sputter, and the engine cuts off, and it sort of glides to a stop.
Yeah.
Sweet. I'll slide the door open and disappear out the door.
Okay.
Gotta put
At this point, I'm going to ask you guys. Let me do. Nope, that's not it.
Suppose it's that time for initiative, ain't it?
It is that time for initiative. So go ahead and click on your token and then roll initiative.
Oh, good call.
Yeah, that would help.
I always forget.
Ah, crap. Did I screw him up? Come on. Sorry.
And Mr. Bell, that's pretty terrible for 5 dice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Bell has been amplified somewhat, so he now theoretically he goes faster, but when you roll 10 on 5 dice, it's not awesome.
Not on Emerald Glitch though, where everybody gets 11s for their initiative.
Oh my god, 11.
Hang on. Give me one.
Here, we'll do this. I'll just add.
Yeah, sorry about that. I tried to click my token, but nothing happened when I did.
Yeah.
You know what, Tom? If you just make a roll for Jay.
Yeah. I literally something was up with my roll 20.
Okay.
There it goes. Okay.
There. Okay. So Noir, you should be able to click on your token now.
Yep. There we go. I can do the initiative again if you like.
No, it's fine.
Okay. 11 on initiative's not bad, right, guys? I've got no mods in my initiative.
So at this point, the milk truck has stopped. Presumably, you guys' vehicle is slowing to a stop, and Jay is I guess at this point the first one out of the vehicle.
Yep.
Who managed to roll higher on 3 dice? Than you did on 5.
Literally walk up to the gonna try being bold and brass, walk up to open the door up.
Okay.
Is it unlocked?
It is locked.
It is locked. Huh. Okay.
Would you like to just open it like it's not locked?
Man. I honestly
or are you trying to be subtle?
I honestly trying to be subtle and not do that. So I'm going to as I walk up to it, I'm going to open it. I'm going to spoof it.
Okay.
To see if
that will be another cracking plus logic.
Yep.
Wow. Oh.
As long as he's not using any edge, ties go to the attacker, I'm hoping.
Yep, Ty goes the active character. That's you. So you hear the door lock pop.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, so I've moved. That's one minor.
And you spend a major on spoof command.
Yep, major on spoof command.
So at this point, since it's unlocked, it'll be a minor to open the door.
Yep. So then, so I can, so I can open the door, but I can't throw him out.
Right.
Yep.
Because you'll have, let's see if I'm counting this right.
I've got 4 minors.
Actions?
Yeah. So
yes, you'll have 2 minor actions left.
Yep. Okay, so I make one and I say, okay, so I'm going to use one of them just to be smart and get out.
I can make an intimidation test.
Okay. And I'm going to use, since I'm standing there looking all big and strong, use my strength for it.
Wow. A lot of ones and still 8 hits.
Wow.
All right.
Holy smokes.
Let's see. So, modifier.
This character was built to be the strong guy.
Holy crap.
Sweet. Oh.
You can punch at Slick, miss him, and still kill him.
Mr. Bell, that's what you see. As you dismount the vehicle.
So, stretch a little bit and let Murder Bell out. and and I'll walk behind. Is he out? He's not out, right? He's sitting in the. He's
still sitting in the truck because he hasn't had an action yet.
Okay, am I able to get up to the door? I'm invisible.
Oh yeah, you're in.
Yeah.
So, granted, Jay kind of fills that area, but I think he's sort of backed off a little bit, looking for the guy to actually get out of the truck.
Would I be able to get up to the guy from where with my movement?
You could probably just slide right in between Jay and that guy.
Yeah, I'll actually spider crawl on the ground, all fours creepily between them, and I'll just.
It'd be creepier if people could see you.
Yeah, true, but that's not necessary. What's he wearing? What's he wearing? Is he all armored up, or?
No, this guy's wearing a white T-shirt that's pretty dirty. He's wearing, it looks like firefighter's pants. That sort of fire hose texture cloth, like canvas.
Yeah,
he's wearing essentially firefighter's pants and boots. And he's got a scruffy sort of next day shadow sort of going on.
So I'll just put a level 12 trank patch on his ankle.
So the ankle's going to be. I'll charge you a penalty for that, unless you want to put. I mean, the arm is exposed.
Okay, well, I was kind of going for the creepy leg touch, but what's the penalty?
Because he's wearing essentially firefighter's pants and boots.
Yeah, they're kind of low. That's true.
It's kind of hard to get exposed skin.
Yeah, I'll slap it on his arm then.
Okay. So go ahead and make an unarmed combat test.
I'll do it gingerly.
Okay.
I want to set a chill up his spine. Unarmed combat terms. Yeah, I don't have any.
Oh, sorry, close combat.
Oh. Okay.
Oh yeah, the arm that does it. Okay, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because that does your close combat. 2 hits. He does not see you coming, so he gets no defense roll. Jay, you see this drug patch appear on the guy's hand.
Okay.
And then I need to roll, let's see, body. That's a lot of sixes.
Wow.
And he starts getting real groggy. He's not down. Let's see. You still have, I mean, if you want to, you still have a bunch of minor actions if you want to trade up.
Yeah. I'll appear. That's a minor action, huh?
Yeah, it'll be a minor action.
Do I still have enough to do a major?
Yeah, you'll just have enough left to do a major.
And now I'll violently yank him out of the car after I appear.
All right. So that'll be another close combat test.
Okay. Not unarmed, close combat, right?
Right.
Okay. Well, I believe I'm better at that. Yep.
Okay. And this will be defense bats.
Nice.
Oh, that's a shame.
Okay, I'm gonna admit it's a little concerning just how badly Bob is rolling right now. Because
It'll come around, yeah.
yeah, it's gonna come around. I mean,
so you yank him out of the truck, and he falls like face first on the ground,
And I'll whisper
and sort of lays there.
I'll whisper in his ear, "Believe me, this is the easy way." And that'll be my turn.
Okay. So we'll drop out of rounds because you ascertained in fairly short order that he is unconscious.
Let's go ahead and check his pockets and stuff. Try to get some ID.
I'm looking inside the vehicle.
You find no ID. You find pocket change that adds up to we'll say 5 new yen.
I'll go ahead and take that.
Wow. So Jay, you could make a perception test. Jeez. 7 hits on 10 dice.
I'm rolling like I'm GMing for Ava.
So you look through. You see that the ignition's been forced.
Okay.
You do find there's a clipboard sort of laying in the passenger seat that has an AR display on it that says basically this is a milk shipment. We'll say that's 500 gallons of milk to the restaurant.
Okay. That guy that was running, how close is he to catching up to us?
I mean, it's been like, what has it been, like 5 seconds, 6 seconds?
Okay, so he's got a ways to go still.
He's still got a ways to run, but he is still closing on the position.
No reason not to leave, right, Mr. Bell?
As I'm like rifling through the guy's pockets.
Yeah, I'm basically standing up on the running board of the vehicle.
You gotta stay on task.
Mr. Bell, would you like to do a memory test?
Sure. I have a choice. Memory.
That's just my way of asking for memory tests.
Yeah.
Memory. Bro, I want to remember stuff.
Wow.
I'm not gonna. I'm gonna need the edge later. I guarantee I'm gonna need the edge later. That sucks.
Yeah, you
Well, if I get 2 hits, would that be enough? What is it to turn a 4 into a 5?
2 edge.
2 edge.
2 edge turn a 4 into a 5?
Yep.
Am I wasting my time, Bob?
I don't think you are, buddy. I think you probably got to remember a goal for the run. So
I'll turn a 4 into a 5.
Okay. So go ahead and spend your 2 edge.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, aside from the run, I mean, you're of course you're meant to take the truck. You're kind of looking at the guy, and something about him. There's some you think you recognize him, but you can't quite place it. And then you look up from him, and you see maybe within your sight line, about maybe a mile and a half down the road, is that dome that you guys set aflame.
Oh.
So it's now collapsed and just a pile of rubble at this point, but that's where that dome was that you guys burned.
I can't in real life remember any orcs from that run.
But you recognize, and it's mainly because you looked intently at his clothing. You do remember that as Fisher and you guys in the van were driving off, there was a fire truck that rolled in.
Oh.
And now you're starting to piece it together. It's taken a lot of time to piece it together, but you think this guy might have been one of the firefighters that you saw on the truck.
Oh. I wish I could ask him a question. Oh, well, I'm a little twisted. I'll slap a stim patch on him to wake him up.
Okay,
Something about this guy is familiar. I need to talk to him. So I'll slap a stim patch on him.
That guy stole my truck, and you hear the guy that's coming up.
yeah,
on you guys.
I'm getting the truck started.
Okay.
Again.
So since you're the one that spoofed the commands,
Yep.
I'll say that you're able to unspoof the commands.
Okay.
And get the truck running.
All right.
So at this point, you're going to hop in and take the truck.
I'm ready to leave and kind of looking at Mr. Bell. So we heading out?
Give me 2 seconds.
So you're going to wake this guy up to the stim patch in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
Yep.
What rating stim patch was it? 6?
What do I have? 3.
3. Okay.
3.
3 is enough to wake him up. It's like,
Hey.
What?
Get up.
Ow.
I shake him.
So he struggles to his feet. Sort of wipes some blood off his face.
You have 2 seconds to tell me who you are.
I don't know.
All right.
And with that, we'll go to our first.
Oh.
Yeah.
In the city of Neo-Babylon, full of powerful magic and emerging cyber technology, the authorities say that they know what's best, but only ever seem to help themselves. That's where you come in. If the powerful won't help, you'll just have to get things done on your own. Hey folks, I'm Opti, the founder of Fragging Unicorns Games and creator of the Subversion RPG. In Subversion, you and your friends play as envoys, representatives of your communities taking direct action to serve and save the people around you. But there's a catch. Both characters and communities have values that are important to them. Trying to subvert an oppressive world around you while also holding true to those values isn't an easy task. Neo-Babylon is a world much like our own, but where magic and wondrous things have always existed. And the ancient Babylonian Empire was the first to wield that magic to conquer and assimilate their enemies. Now, in Neo-Babylon, communities struggle against oppressive arcane elites, faceless corporate masters, and all kinds of authorities that have boots aimed at their necks. So if you want to play a game where you can encounter wondrous creatures, breach computer systems, bend magic to your will, search out lost civilizations, steal from the rich, and give to the poor, Subversion might be for you. But if you're looking for a game where your values truly matter and building up your community is just as important as destroying unjust systems of control, Subversion is absolutely for you.
Ready to level up your cosplay game? Check out the Geek Forge on Etsy. With a variety of props to give your photos that extra spark, you'll find just what you need. Hold magical fire in the palm of your hand, or take a potion to restore your mana. With a large variety of colors, you can choose your own magical flavor for your cosplay. Bring drama to your photo shoots with these vibrant props and more, all available at the Geek Forge. Are you ready to level up your cosplay?
Welcome back. We are so Mr. Bell has the guy he doesn't quite recognize, but who might have been a firefighter at the dome that they burned down. There's a guy running down the road the dirt road toward the road, the exit to the farm, yelling, "Hey, that's my truck!" And I think Jay just hopped into that truck.
Yeah, I'm standing right outside of them. I'm standing. I got the car running, and I'm kind of standing in the doorway. Look down at Mr. Bell. So, what are we doing, Mr. Bell?
Let's go.
Okay.
And I'll walk the guy over to Slick's van. Open the door. Apologies, and I'll toss the guy in back, and I'll get in as well.
Okay. Sort of flops down in the back.
Yeah, I'm taking off. Best to get as good a start as I can because it's a milk truck.
I am following.
So that being said, it's not a throwback, but it is not it's not exactly a racing truck.
Yeah.
It is it's very utilitarian, very industrial. And so I will ask you now for a driving test or piloting test.
Okay.
I'll ask both of you for piloting tests.
Let's see.
Oh my gosh.
What is going on?
So many fours. All right. So you do get going. So Slick, it's mainly because your vehicle is a stronger vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
The two of you are able to flee the scene, leaving the guy sort of waving there in the dust and melted snow as you guys drive off.
Once we get a little distance away, I'm going to, ask Slick to, Slick, can you scan us, make sure there's not tracking it or anything like that?
Can do. And also, real quick, just before we head off, would it have been possible for me to get a picture of the guy who was running after us?
Sure, yeah, you can do that.
Okay. But yeah, so I'm guessing this is a computer intuition. See if we're being scanned. All right. Oh no!
Oh my!
Reroll 13 dice. Come on.
It's not bad luck worthy, but it's just a whole bunch of 4s.
Yeah, what is it with 4s?
I do have
They're good rolls.
I do have quite a bit of edge.
They're higher than 3.
Yeah, so I think you spent your chase pool worth of edge.
Right.
But,
Okay.
you do have your. I think you have all of your personal edge at this point.
Yeah.
And analytical mind. I think I did another analytical mind before as well. I don't know if that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So you do have 2 extra edge.
Yep.
So let's turn 2 of those 4s into successes, please.
Sure. So that'll cost you 4 edge.
Okie dokie.
At 4 edge, you might as well reroll everything.
Oh, okay.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and do that then.
So if you just
Yeah.
and you come up the same.
Jeez.
Wow.
On 13 dice, 2 hits.
I don't know what's going on. Roll20 don't like me.
It's not you. Don't take it personal. It's Emerald Glitch.
Roll 20 is doing that. So 3 wasn't good enough for you.
Yeah.
I wasn't the one complaining. Like, they need the target.
Wow.
So 2 hits. 2 hits is enough. That there is a tracking device on the milk truck.
All right. I'm gonna. Hey, Jay, you got a tracking device on you, buddy.
Can you fry it?
Yeah, I'll just let you know what's going on. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna break this thing.
So you're gonna just go ahead and data spike it.
Yeah, that seems to be a good enough move. And look, I just found a button with all the Matrix moves. How did I not know this was? All right. I think I'm okay.
Yep. So it's a data spike action.
Oh my god!
1 hit on 13 dice.
This can't be happening.
Let's see here.
Hey.
Hey!
So what is your attack attribute?
How do I find that?
it's on the Matrix tab.
All right, let me get to the Matrix tab. My attack total is 7.
7. Okay. So you have 1 point of Overwatch score, but you do fry this thing. It's just it's basically just an RFID tag that you're able to fry without incident.
Okay.
All right, done and done, because I know what I'm doing. I'm gonna go ahead.
Ty's gonna be acting character.
That is in character. I'm gonna go ahead and reset so I can get the fuzz off me, and then that's that's it.
Yeah, so Billy says in chat that Ava would say restart Roll20.
Yeah.
Be real life, reboot your deck.
We gotta restart the whole campaign, I think, in order to get this off.
Is resetting erasing matrix signature? Is that something different?
That's something different.
Okay.
Different.
Yep.
Yeah. What I'm saying here is normally to clear Overwatch score, since you have time in abundance at this point.
Yeah.
Normally you just reboot your deck.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's what he's doing.
It removes all your accesses, but it resets your Overwatch score.
Yeah.
Cool.
I reboot my deck also. Now that we got our chance to get away. So we got the address we got to take this to?
Yep, I send everybody the address of where we're headed, which I can't in real life remember anymore.
There's a warehouse in Tacoma.
Okay.
And then I turn to the orc. And well, anyway, no. You don't seem like you belong in this scenario.
No, I don't belong here.
You escaping?
Apparently not. He sort of looks around.
Well, you're definitely not going back to where you just came from.
But I need to eat.
There'll be time for that. Do you remember anything about the place you just left?
Place I just left. The farm. There's a farm. I stole the truck. I was gonna sell it.
That's all?
Yeah, that's all I remember.
Why do you sound so unsure?
Who are you?
I'm asking the questions. And I'll intimidate in first impression if I could.
Sure.
I'll just stare at him with my glowing yellow eyes with a smile. Oh, where you at?
Let's see here. So, first impression in this edition gives you 2 edge.
Edge. 3, of course, 3.
And he's sort of, he's laying on the floor, and he sort of just crawls back, and he's like found himself in the way back of the van. It's sort of like where, so there's the bed, and there's the little, there's the bed on one side, there's the DVD rack on the other side, and he's sort of crawled back to basically the back of the van. And it's at that point you recognize the look all too well. It's the look that he has no place else to run. You've seen this look so many times in your prey.
So, depending on what you do next, determines on what happens to you next. I was expecting a runner, but I don't think you're that. We're going to get you out of here. If you happen to remember anything important, you let us know, okay?
What's a runner?
That's a good question. You just try to figure that out on your own.
Also, Mr.
I've run from time to time, but
that's enough.
I was just gonna say there are donuts in the back if he wants one.
Would you like a donut?
Yeah.
I'll hand him a donut.
So he basically just jams the whole donut in his mouth.
You just sit there and be a good boy.
You choose maybe twice or 3 times, and the donut's gone.
Well, I don't really have anything more to ask him. Yeah, well, I'll just sit there, kind of next to him. My combat knife is out, though. Just kind of twirling it on my finger, playfully.
All right. Go ahead and make a perception test.
Even why we do tests anymore, we're not going to pass any of them.
Wow.
Oh, there you go. There's your 2.
Roll 20 is just like, tonight you fail.
You sort of glance over the DVD rack, and all of the DVDs have been rearranged.
I'll just quietly go over and re-alphabetize them.
So your 16 copies of Batman Forever. There are a few other movies, but then there's a few movies, 16 copies of Batman Forever, that now are kind of randomly distributed. But Slick, you know, because you're seeing in the cameras behind you, they're in the wrong order.
And I'm humming Perfect Day.
Because these 16 copies, you just didn't go out to Kongmart and buy 16 copies. You bought them as they came out.
Exactly.
So
Some of them have.
They're copies as they came out with different editions, and now they're out of order.
Some of them have bonus special features that the other ones don't. It's fine. This is fine.
So I'll ask our two drivers to make piloting tests.
Let's go. That's more like it.
That is more like it.
Nice.
Oof.
Oh.
All right.
Wow. That is
bad luck.
okay.
So you're driving along.
Yep.
And just like you shut down the truck before, it shuts down again.
Oh.
It sort of sparks where the steering column had been forced. It sparks, and then the engine just sort of cuts out.
Crap.
How long has it been since we left where we initially got it?
It's been about 20 minutes. So we'll say you're maybe about a third of you're well away from the farm by now. You're just leaving Snohomish. You're probably about a third of the way to your destination.
Okay. I pull over, tell the guys the jerry rigging failed on this. I'm going to need my toolkit out of the thing, and probably Slick's help.
All right. Yeah, I think from the van, if I could, I'd like to do a matrix perspective to see if I can see what is affecting the van. Am I learning?
Sure.
Hey, I'm learning. Okay.
And I'll look at the orc. Don't move. Don't you dare. And I'll get out of the van, close the door behind, and I'll get on top of the tank with my sniper rifle and just scan the area.
Invisibly, right?
Invisibly, yeah.
Okay. 6 hits on Matrix Perception.
Tell me, what does my elf eye see? I refuse to apologize.
So the milk truck no longer registers as a Matrix signature.
Huh.
It's like it's been bricked.
Flurb. Is there any way that I could roll to see if I might know a hot fix or some way to get this thing back up and running?
So I'll let you make an engineering test.
I'm
actually good at that.
Yeah. And I'm gonna assist since he's got more dice than I do.
Okay.
Heck yeah.
So
he's gonna roll, and you're gonna get wow.
What the?
Wow.
Okay.
So roll one more die because you get one more die from
right.
Jay's help.
Okay. Oh my god! How?
Okay. So you're going. So Slick, you're going at this from a matrix perspective, and you're like, I mean, it's bricked. I mean, how am I going to fix this? I got to replace all these matrix components. And with Jay's help, Jay sort of looks at you and says, "Is it maybe this thing is old enough that if we bypass the matrix components and just run it mechanically, it's not going to run well, but it'll run." And together, you're able to pull out the toolkit, and you get it running. It's not pretty, and it's not stealthy, and it's not fast, but it is running now. Just in time for a Lone Star car to drive by. You see them from a distance, Mr. Bell. You see them roll up, and as they're rolling up, sort of, they apparently don't see you or don't react to you on top of the tank,
which is good because that's incredibly illegal.
But as they get close enough where they might consider pulling over, that's when the truck roars back to life. And then they sort of, instead of pulling over, they just they do that sort of slow pass where they're looking to see what's going on.
And I give them, I give them a confident, yes, we got it running again. And I wave thanks to them.
Okay, I could make a contest.
Yep.
Performance, if you happen to have it.
I don't have performance. I do have con. And you know what? I think, much as I hate to use up a lot of edge for this way,
Ooh. Okay.
Hey, that was an actual, thing that, pre-edging did actually benefit me.
Yeah. So the guy in the passenger seat sort of nods, and they keep driving.
Okay.
And they drive off into the distance, leaving the three of you alone.
When you say slow, what's slow? Like, how slow is slow?
It is slower than before. It'll probably take you another hour to get to the destination.
Yep. One question, Mr. Bell, did you go invisible before you got out of the vehicle or after you got out of the vehicle?
Usually as I'm getting out of the van, I disappear as if I'm passing through a force field. Yeah, that's kind of my thing.
Yeah. So I didn't see that, and I'd start driving off.
Oh, that's fair.
So the milk truck lurches under you.
Yeah.
It doesn't move fast, so I'll just bolt off.
Go ahead and make an athletics test.
Sure. How many? What happens with 3 hits?
I'll be satisfied.
Or 1.
Yeah.
So it's not graceful. You sort of, it's almost like you were judo thrown, and you sort of do that slap the ground so you don't take damage.
Mm-hmm.
It is not the sort of normal 3-point superhero landing. It's more of a judo being thrown.
But I'll roll when I hit the ground, though.
Yeah, you roll with it. You're back on your feet. 20 does not like this.
Yeah. I stop suddenly and look back and go, what the?
Yes, I was on the roof.
You're overcome.
Oh, boy. I start moving again. He's Slick's problem. Violet, do you owe me?
Look, we've got to catch up to the milk truck. That should be hard.
Yeah.
But I mean, more importantly, though, while they were all Mr. Bill was vaulting, is there any way for me to check and see who just attacked the truck? Because that's what I'm worried about.
So with your previous matrix perception, I'll tell you, this is consistent with the sort of the hard reaction when a vehicle is reported stolen.
Ah, gotcha. All right.
They'll shut it down, and in some cases they'll just for like older vehicles they'll just brick it.
Gotcha. All right. Well, off we go.
So off you go, and you. It is slow going, but at least it's not snowing anymore. And again, it was plowed earlier today, so you don't really hit any patches of snow or ice because it's been cleared. But it does take, you're sort of chugging along with the slow milk truck, and you make it down to the place in Tacoma. So the address is a warehouse. And as you pull up, you see there are a number of vans there. There are some lights up, sort of surrounding the entrance to the warehouse. And there is a guy standing outside. Dark hair sort of pulled back into a ponytail. He's wearing shades in the dark, and he's wearing a chef's coat. And he's standing there sort of cross-armed, like he's waiting for you.
Well, I'm just gonna pull up to him, and as I'm pulling up, I'm gonna go, Mr. Bell, is this a friend of yours?
I'll throw open the back the door of the van and hop out.
That is a very weird.
Finally, you've arrived. But you're going to take all night.
You must be the contact. Nice to meet you.
Indeed, I am. It's about time you arrived with the milk shipment.
Well, it's an old truck.
And now it's time for you to get inside and cook me your signature dish.
Pardon?
Let's go. You have 45 minutes.
Okay, right away. I'll turn to the guy too slick. Sounds like we're cooking.
Yeah. Very weird way to answer my question. Just keep flinging my back door open. It's not like I minded or anything.
Hey guys, can I get out of this? Can we get in there? This thing, this thing sending shocks down the freaking, down the steering column at me.
Where would you like the truck take it?
And the truck, the engine once again dies. It sort of gives one last shudder. And
I guess it's right here.
I put it in neutral. And
Okay.
all right, where? Mr. Bell, get in and turn the steering wheel. And wherever
right there,
push a
that
truck
parking spot.
what was that?
So he points to a parking spot.
Parking spot.
Right over there.
I settle in and I start pushing it to that spot. I think I figured out.
Yeah, so good. Go make a lift carry test.
Yep. I think I figured out this guy can. Oh man, it's about to roll the chef by accident. I figured out for a different thing. This guy can lift right around a metric ton.
Oh, just one hand,
Yeah.
drag the truck.
Yeah, to so that body plus willpower to give me extra hits. So that would probably.
Wow, that's a lot of ones. Awfully close to a glitch. But I've already spent edge on you tonight.
Yeah. Wow. Jeez.
So you're pushing the truck. It takes some effort.
Yeah.
But with you pushing and Mr. Bell in the driver's seat doing the steering, you're able to push it into place. See, we'll say Slick recognizes this chef.
Yeah. I mean, I do.
So there's a description in there. He's his name. He goes by the name of Pierre Ramsey. He's a famous fridge chef whose temper and arrogance are as legendary as his cooking skill. But he doesn't run any restaurants. He's just a fridge chef.
Oh.
I think Slick's just gonna say to himself, but it might be on the comms like, is that the guy from Hades' Kitchen?
but you know he claims to be like the great grandson of a famous chef from 60 years ago. But you do know the name is spelled wrong.
Oh.
I gotta get his risotto.
And you saw the last show of his you saw was Cooking in the Barrens, which did not go well. It was a ratings nightmare.
Yeah, it was hard to watch.
As we're walking with him, I guess, we absolutely can perform this cooking request of yours, but it was not in the contract.
It's gonna cost extra. Say it's gonna cost extra.
That's kind of what I'm implying, but I will then with silence.
So you catch a ping on your comm links that are the rest of the payment for the milk run.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, well, payment. Well, the winner of this competition will run their own restaurant with a very large salary. But you have to win first.
That's not really in my personal interests, but let me discuss with my companions. So you guys heard that, right?
The clock is ticking. You're down to 35 minutes.
Oh, this is his
And
thing. He always has to count down.
He goes back into the warehouse, and you see in the warehouse they've set up this kitchen, and there are probably a dozen other people there who are cooking. And yeah, there's this big countdown clock that's counting down.
Are we cooking?
I mean, I've got to be honest with you. I don't cook anything outside of a microwave, but like, but I feel real good about our chances.
Very well. I know cooking's not a skill in this game, right? But
it's more of a knowledge skill.
Yeah.
Oh well, I don't have that, but I do have customer service, and I do cook around the mansion.
Yeah, I would accept that.
Okay. All right. I'll take that as a request as a part of the contract.
So you go in. The other two of you are just standing outside watching at this point, or
no, go in.
Are there cameras?
Oh yeah, there are cameras everywhere.
Every time there's a camera, I make deep eye contact with the lens.
Yeah, I'm gonna reluctantly come out the van and join everybody.
Okay. So the three of you join the other dozen or so people who are frantically running around the kitchen. It's clear that 45 minutes wasn't enough time for these people to make whatever their signature dish is. Assuming any of them knows what their signature dish is.
I hope you're not going to ask me because I don't know what the signature dish is.
As I'm approaching, I would like to be in AR downloading cookbooks.
All right.
Preferably cookbooks written by Pierre Ramsey. We're gonna win this thing.
So, are we're doing this independently? Is it all three of us, or is it team?
It looks like it's an individual challenge.
Oh crap! I was counting on Mr. Bell's knife skills. I don't know if he got knife skills. I just assumed. Okay, no, this is fine.
So Slick, you can regain 2 points of edge.
Yay!
For stealing one of my jokes.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, you haven't seen anybody say it's an individual contest, but it's clear that none of the other dozen people are working together.
Slick is gonna raise his hand.
So Pierre Ramsey comes up and gets right in your face with his arms stretched. What?
First off, big fan. Second off,
of course you're a big fan. Why wouldn't you be?
Exactly right. I've got common sense. Speaking of comments, right? Sorry. Sorry, chef. Chef, is this an individual contest, or can I work with my friend, chef?
He looks over. I've never had anyone ask that. You can work together, but it's only one dish.
Thank you, chef. Also, do I get one of those aprons? Like, 'cause... and if I do, can you sign it? Sorry, chef. I'll wait till after the show.
25 minutes left.
Crap, guys, we gotta get started.
I'm already chopping. I've just grabbed some random meat.
Okay. So Mr. Bell, go ahead and make a memory test.
Oh. Okay.
And I'll let Slick do a matrix search test.
Yeah. All right. So let's see.
I'll take 3.
Okay. Oh, now you'll take 3.
Yeah.
We've been beaten down.
So you pull up in one of Pierre Ramsey's many cookbooks. You do find one that looks like it's the easiest in that book, but it's still pretty complicated.
Crap.
It's like somebody tried to write it simply, but just couldn't do it.
Okay, that's fine. Listen, I'm a genius. I've hacked into billion-dollar corporations. I can cook a risotto. Let's freaking do this. All right.
They all say I can cook a risotto. All right. So you pull up a risotto recipe, and Mr. Bell has sort of put together the ingredients. And with 3 hits on your memory test, as time winds down, you do manage to put together a risotto on a plate.
Yes.
I help out as much as I can, but one thing I do is honestly just I take it there's cameras on us at all this time.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Literally going to try to focus the cameras on my muscles to distract from whatever they're doing wrong or making mistakes or whatever like that. So I'll just do a simple
a
contest.
Roll a being hot check.
Yep. No, just
All right.
And if there's one last thing that I might be able to do, because Matrix Perception is a minor action, I would like, if I could, to sabotage some of the contestants by turning their ovens up just a little bit more than they set it for.
So go ahead and make a hacking plus logic test.
Okay.
And we'll see how well that goes. Oh wow! There you go.
I came to win.
You know, we gotta fix the truck that's like stuck in the middle of nowhere with Lone Star pulling up. 0 hits on engineering. Same dice pool, 6 hits to sabotage somebody else's ovens.
It's different. Pierre Ramsey is watching.
So for a while, you don't think you've done anything, but when the clock hits about 5 minutes left, and people are starting to pull things out of ovens and trying to find plates to plate stuff, it's all burned. And you know that Pierre Ramsey is going to scream.
Oh, yeah, he hates burned food.
Does anybody look like they're fairly confident, comfortable with what they're doing?
They many of them do, until they start pulling out burned food. You do see a couple of people who didn't put anything in an oven. They're doing sort of pan fried stuff.
I guess I kind of notice somebody who seems like they're doing exceptionally well, making good time. They look a little happy, and I try to catch their eye contact, and I just kind of stare them down. And when they look away, well, every time they look away, and then they'll catch my glance every time they look back at me. So if I can make an intimidation check.
Make an intimidation test.
And even if I move away, like say I go to do something else, like from that position, I'll just keep looking at them. Oh man. That's all right.
So it does.
They're concentrated.
It does seem like you do shake a person or two, which is odd because as you look across as you finally start looking at who your competitors are, the competitors aren't dressed in like street clothes. They're dressed in like armor jackets. They're dressed in like the Urban Explorer jumpsuits. They're dressed like wannabe runners.
Oh,
but are they actual? Let's see if I runners. Can I make a memory test for Seattle streets?
Sure.
I mean, I probably would. Let's see.
Okay. No, these guys do not strike you as any runners that you recognize.
Mm-hmm.
You actually you recognize a couple of them, however, as stunt people.
Okay.
So you get the sense from all this that a lot of these people are actors pretending like they're runners.
Yep.
Which explains why some of them are sort of thrown back a bit when the creepy smile of Mr. Bell crosses their eyes.
and I'm doing like like slow like lookups and stuff like
Yeah. I tell them you get used to it, but I don't think you do. I think the point at which you get used to it is a dangerous mental spot.
And so as the clock runs out, there's of course Pierre Ramsey's counting down, and so you put the domes over everybody puts the domes over their dishes, and that's where we will go to our next break.
In the city of Neo-Babylon, full of powerful magic and emerging cyber technology, the authorities say that they know what's best, but only ever seem to help themselves. That's where you come in. If the powerful won't help, you'll just have to get things done on your own. Hey folks, I'm Opti, the founder of Fragging Unicorns Games and creator of the Subversion RPG. In Subversion, you and your friends play as envoys, representatives of your communities taking direct action to serve and save the people around you. But there's a catch. Both characters and communities have values that are important to them. Trying to subvert an oppressive world around you while also holding true to those values isn't an easy task. Neo-Babylon is a world much like our own, but where magic and wondrous things have always existed. And the ancient Babylonian Empire was the first to wield that magic to conquer and assimilate their enemies. Now, in Neo-Babylon, communities struggle against oppressive arcane elites, faceless corporate masters, and all kinds of authorities that have boots aimed at their necks. So if you want to play a game where you can encounter wondrous creatures, breach computer systems, bend magic to your will, search out lost civilizations, steal from the rich, and give to the poor, Subversion might be for you. But if you're looking for a game where your values truly matter and building up your community is just as important as destroying unjust systems of control, Subversion is absolutely for you.
Ready to level up your cosplay game? Check out the Geek Forge on Etsy. With a variety of props to give your photos that extra spark, you'll find just what you need. Hold magical fire in the palm of your hand, or take a potion to restore your mana. With a large variety of colors, you can choose your own magical flavor for your cosplay. Bring drama to your photo shoots with these vibrant props and more, all available at the Geek Forge. Are you ready to level up your cosplay?
Now, how do we do, Bob?
All right,
The judging's happening.
So now the
Roll your
judging
initiative.
happening.
Roll initiative.
Yeah.
So he goes through. So Pierre Ramsey does this tasting, and it does not go well. These guys are not runners apparently, and they're also not cooks. Many of them, and of course you've sabotaged many of their dishes. So it's like dish after dish after dish of overcooked. Pierre spits stuff out on the regular. He'll take a dish and just throw it in the trash. And of course he screams. And then finally comes to, well, now the team dish for the very first time here on Michelin Runners. The team dish from these superstars. Let's see what you've served me.
Yeah, chef. It is a risotto with fine cuts of veal, and steamed vegetables, fresh.
Steamed vegetables.
Steamed vegetables. Yeah. Well, lightly seasoned. I picked it up from one of my favorite cookbooks.
Yes, I recognize it well. And he does this sort of thing and sniffs it. It's like, not bad. He takes a taste. The risotto's a little mush. Needs more salt. I knew it was a bad thing when I heard lightly seasoned.
Yes, chef.
But I must say, it's the best dish of the day. The rest of you, get out! Get out! And he screams and yells and basically chases out these other quote-unquote runners.
They're runners now.
But it's... so he turns to you guys and says, well, I didn't expect that. Clearly there's not, I mean, this show. I'm going to have to restart the show, you know. If you give me your comm code, I'll invite you back.
Oh. Yes, chef.
Can you slide him comm code?
Yeah.
I'll give him the mansion number.
Okay.
I'll have to call the concierge.
I give him a comm code.
He slides each of you another 1,000 million.
Yes. Rockets.
Hopefully that'll do until you come back and compete properly. Now, I must warn you, next time it will be individual.
Oh, okay.
No more of this entourage cooking.
Feels like changing the rules because we kicked ass, but okay. Chef, do we get one of those aprons now? Perhaps signed?
Yes, you can keep the apron you have on.
Something.
Well, if there's nothing else.
Yes, you can go now.
Of course.
Have a nice day. Been a pleasure.
I'm also going to try and steal a knife.
All right. So make a this will be a stealth test.
Oh shit! I mean, shoot.
So I guess I needn't ask if you have the palming specialization.
I'm rolling unskilled skill.
Hey, at least it's your 4 agility.
Yeah, here we go. Something good has to happen. Hey, 2.
Wow.
I'll take it.
5, 4, 5.
Slick is now officially a fanboy of every celebrity.
Let's see. We'll do that.
Ooh.
And that is enough. The tie once again goes to the acting character.
You know,
I think that's the 4th time I've said that tonight.
Yeah.
So you do indeed manage to walk away with a chef's knife. You do see, as you look at it later, it's got these are the Pierre Ramsey special knife sets.
Oh.
Yeah.
But you guys get back to your Roadmaster, and you notice you don't remember this guy is gone.
That's fine.
Can I review my van security system to see what happened?
Oh, sure. Yeah, it does not take long. I'm not even going to make you roll it. You roll back the footage, and about the time that Ramsey is talking to you about the team challenge he just sort of slips out.
Okay, he didn't take none, did he?
He did not take anything.
Okay.
You do notice, however, that the footage is a little grainier where his face is concerned. It's almost like your cameras didn't really want to record him.
Oh, I know what that is. Okay, well, he didn't take anything. I was worried about my picture. It's priceless.
No, you do. You check, and your miniature painting is still there.
The fool could have been rich.
Your donuts are gone. Your donuts are gone, however.
I gave him one.
and he took the box.
Slippery bastard. I want him to know he's got an arch enemy for life now.
Shall I bring him back?
Not today. I want him to feel safe today. We will see.
Now Slick is both a fanboy and an arch enemy.
I need you to change his name to Slick will remember you forever. I'm actually angry. My imaginary donut. Just rude.
So that brings us to the end. You guys have successfully completed the milk run. You even got a bonus from Chef Pierre Ramsey himself. Some of you took a little extra bonus. And so before we have the results of our drawing, again, this is the last chance to type hashtag REMPC. We'll go around the table and see if people have things they want to talk about. So we'll start with Slick, with Noir.
Hey! So this is the outro. Hey, everybody, I'm Noir. You can find me all over the internet as the Noir in England. That's Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. You can find me over on right here on the Gen Con channel tomorrow night for Table Takes, where we're going to talk about all the news in the tabletop world. Saturday morning, you can find me on my show Morning Ritual, where we will have Sarah from Sarah's Table over on Gen Con on our show. And check out the latest episode of my podcast, Dungeons and Dragons, where we talk all about everything TTRPG. That's me. And I will find this guy. That's the last thing.
Hey, I'm Roland. You guys know me from being here. There's not much going on these days elsewhere. Hope to be back on Like Clockwork. You can catch it on Sundays on REM ALTERNIS. REM. What's the address? There you go. There. Other than that, yeah, ain't got much going on. Thanks for watching though tonight.
Teslan?
Hey, I'm Teslan. I'm the director of special projects for REM. So I do things like normally run the back behind the scenes stuff for our Gen Con TV shows. I'm stuck as a forever GM, although lately I've been able to actually get to play, which is nice. But I play a lot on Shadowrun missions online, which I'll drop the chat. I'll drop the link where you can play the official Shadowrun missions as a regular convention play. Gives you a chance to play it online, catch up on the ones that you missed from the conventions you've gone to. Most of my time is spent on the REM Discord, where I'm starting up doing a Shadowrun Learn to Play. And we've got a variety of different Shadowrun games going on. As far as where I stream, I will be on the Master of REM Twitch channel on Mondays regularly, playing Paranormal Albany, a take on what's happening in Albany while the Dresden Files books are going on using the Cortex system. And we're just ending the part of season 4 now. So that covers, but I encourage you to hop on to the REM ALTERNIS Discord. We've got a lot of stuff going on and even more stuff coming up. if you like side runs like this, we also regularly publish games up on our Patreon for Patreon only views.
The Groundhog Day one recently, right?
Yep, Groundhog Day. Well, Groundhog Day one is going to go up on Groundhog Day.
Perfect.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So where Hanako and Puxatani Phil have an interesting adventure that starts out with her wanting to wring his neck. But that is it for me, Bob. Back to you.
So I'm Bob, your GM for here, and also on Tuesday nights on twitch.tv/Master of Rem, I'm still GMing the 5th edition Shadowrun missions in Chicago. We've been off the past couple weeks, but we should be starting back up with mission 0801. So we're at the beginning of season 8, which is the last season for Chicago. And the bugs are back in town.
Bugs are back in town.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thanks to the players for making it fun. And thanks to Teslon for doing double duty, playing and keeping us on the rails. And we'll see you next week with the continuation of the Iraq cut.
Thanks, folks.
Thanks.
See ya.